best sprinter in the world, Mark Cavendish. He's untouchable.
HTC guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's from Columbia. And a number of other very, very good sprinters who will give him a good run for his money. I think tore his bush off and the like will be here. So there isn't a name or that you wouldn't recognise in the sport of cycling,
Yep.
associating the profile that these riders have that would not be here. This is outside the Tour de France. This is the race that these riders want to come to and win.
So this is going to be a tight right-hander here, so they're going to certainly be backing right off to swing around into this one because it turns back on itself, heads around the river. But again, on these corners, they're doing what?
Well, they're going to again. They'll come down here through here at 60 kilometres an hour, and they're going to have to negotiate this corner. So you'll have them standing on the brakes, but also, you know, this is a course where when you hit these corners, every rider is going to fight to get to the front. That's the objective, is to get to the front, to get the best line so you don't have to wash your speed off and you come out of the corner and accelerate. If you're at the back, your speed's going to wash off, go to a really low speed, and then you're going to have to go from that low speed and tramp on the pedals to get back up to maximum speed, which could take you, 2, 3, 4, 500 metres, and a lot more effort and a lot of energy expenditure to do so. So these, you don't want to be down the back if you're coming into a corner on a course like this.
Yeah.
It will wear you out and wear you down.
So going to be some nice spills on a few of these corners.
Probably, more than likely there will be.
That last corner was pretty rough.
Yeah.
That's that right-hander that we just came around. That's fairly rough. So you'd have to think that if they're trying to jockey for position there, that's going to get tough.
The riders won't ride on this course with not knowing it. They will be out every day riding this, circumnavigating it, having their team meetings, talking about the areas of not only areas where they can attack and get away, but the areas of danger where they need to be careful. So they will lock that down into the computer, so that race day comes, the event of error will be a lot lower because they'll have really meticulously gone over this course with the object of either winning it or riding for their team and not crashing. And you can't afford to lose riders on a course like this because you need the strength in numbers. And you look at riders here, the aspect of winning this race is going to put a lot of noughts on the back end of your contract. So you win this, you're in the $1 million category. So it is a competitive race, and if you can get a 1, 2, 3 podium finish, you are going to make some serious bucks. So there's a lot laying on the line here for riders to perform.
So is this at the start of a season or an end of a season, typically, this race, or just part of
this is the end. So they've gone through the Tour de France, they've got the Tour of Italy, and they've just come off the Vuelta, which is a Tour of Spain, which is again very similar to the Tour de France. It's about a 20-plus day tour. So the guys that are here for this race are going to be in extremely good condition, and they will be hungry to win.
How long between races typically? You're talking 3 weeks, a month?
Probably less. They have in amongst the big tour races. They have a lot of stage races, single day races, and they do a lot of those because they are very significant in their profile as well. And to have a single day high profile race under your belt is extremely good for your own profile, for your team's profile, for sponsors, for contracts. It all has a really big meaning in the context of the big picture of every team that races, whether they can get funding for their next season. So they've got to perform, and these races are huge. You're talking races that are entrenched in this sport and have been around for 40, 50, 100 years. 100 years of tradition.
Now this going up the hill is one part of the course on a time trial, I believe.
That's the individual time trial.
Yep. So what we're doing now is the long course track.
This is the road race where the whole bunch will come around.
Yeah.
Still together.
So they've got some barricading to do down through here too.
Yeah, imagine they'll put them up in the next few days.
Next day, so yeah, it's obviously because there's a lot of houses in here and there's been a lot to do. So we're talking.
So
these
they've taken out
roundabouts.
the roundabouts.
Roundabouts have been taken out.
Taken them out. They've taken out all the little cat's eyes in the road.
Oh yeah.
to prevent the puncture, the aspect of a puncture.
This is a steady climb through this part, and then it's once we get up here, they certainly then get into a whole nother level of climb.
Yeah, just as soon as we hit this corner, the climb starts. And it's significant. It's about 800 metres, reasonably steep. Probably the last 100 metres or so is about 20%, which is, in terms of cycling, that is extremely steep.
This is the last little bit of rest they're going to get, because at the base of this here, right where this car is now, from here on, that's it. They're pedaling.
This is it.
Pushing.
It'll just, they get maybe a tiny little bit of respite here where it flattens out and goes into the next corner. Not enough to catch your breath, but
not much, because that's a pretty rugged little corner. That
I think they'll go straight through.
They'll go straight up.
Oh, actually, they'll probably split that roundabout. You'll have them do the big bunch split, so they'll split it and halve it.
Now they're going up this.
So this is a very steep section. This is what you call Shalamba Crescent, and you know, as the years have gone by, a lot of the local cyclists have used this as their hill repeat training, session that they do during the week. We refer to the hill sessions on Monday as the Pantanis. There's a group called the Pantanis, and they've nicknamed themselves after Marco Pantani, who won a Tour de France over the mountains. He was the best mountain climber in the world, and he died of an overdose of drugs, which was a bit of a shame because he was a very, very good cyclist and won a lot of mountain stages because of his climbing ability. So when you hear the word Pantani, you're associated to mountainous climbs.
This is one just unforgiving climb. It just keeps going and going, doesn't it?
And then this corner here is where it spikes at about 20%. So this last little pinch is going to hurt. So we've got the Australian sign on the road, and someone's painted Simon Guerin's name just here.
Oh yeah, they have too. Yeah.
It's like the media and that are trying to set up.
Yep, and they're going to cut through. They'll be going through that section there. Yep, they'll just cut that corner. I'm surprised they haven't actually taken that roundabout out, but anyway, they're going to come down through here, and then they'll literally just, I don't know where they actually be, they'll be on that right hand side of the road there, and then they're going to just swing straight down through that section there, which takes us back to where we came from before, where we started on this side of the bridge towards Queen's Park. This is the bit that they're going to want to get the pace up.
Yeah, this is where they could hit, they could quite easily attain the speeds of 100 kilometres an hour down here, but they'll be definitely between 80 to 100. They will be going down here at breakneck speed. I mean, just your normal hack on a bike like me can get to 70 kilometres an hour without any effort. So if I can do it in a 200 cyclist pack with at their level, they will definitely hit 80 to 100 kilometres an hour. That is very fast.
So they might have had a nice climb up Shalamba, and it's this is a nice, steady, long roll down. So they'll enjoy this part. But,
they will, but they won't. They probably won't roll. I'd suggest they'll be on their biggest gear, and they'll be absolutely, pushing. Depending on again where the bunch is, if there's a split, if there's a break and they're chasing, they'll be going flat out. If there's a break away and there's a group behind, the front bunch will be chasing, the back bunch will be chasing the front bunch. So, the pressure will be on. If there's splits in the bunch, they'll be frantic. It'll be a frenetic pace. Aussie
flags out there.
Start to put their little banners up. England.
This is the Queen's Park area. Nice views. I'll be able to get a little bit of a view. Nothing like Europe, of course, but we're not as old as Europe. Only a couple of 100 years old, Australia, so we've got a long way to go yet. Still a great place to live. So this is coming back to where we virtually started from. And we head straight down through that part there, back down to the bridge again.